I'm just doing an audio upload right now because I am tired. It's the end of a long day, and um, I just got some stuff I need to talk about. I have always worked very, very hard. Throughout my whole life, I feel like I've always had to struggle. And when my divorce caught me completely off guard in 2010, I don't know if I told you guys what happened there or not. My husband had started cheating and, well, not started, but continued. And he got another woman pregnant. Yeah. And one day he went to work and he didn't come home. I found out through his boss that he wanted a divorce. Anyways, so fast forward, that incident really, it almost killed me. I mean, it sent me down a very dark place. That's when I got into the world of BDSM. I just wanted to be, accepted, and that community accepted me. But it also introduced me to some very nasty people. Some people who were only out to use me. And when I moved back home to my hometown, I was trying to rebuild my life, and I found a job that I really liked as an assistant manager at a furniture store. I really liked it, and then I met someone who I thought was, an upstanding person, and I fell for him. I should say that he was narcissistic, only I didn't know. I had never even heard of that word before this happened. And my head was still in a space because I was still trained. My head was still trained mentally to believe that I was only good enough for people to use. And that was it. So pretty much every man that I met just, used me. And I never believed that I was, worthy enough for anything other than sex, you know. I also kind of was of the headspace that I had to financially support them. So even with Robert, I was, I was, I was, I was manipulated into believing that I was his everything. I mean, in some form or other, I saw it. I really did. I wanted it so badly. I wanted the fairy tale to be real, even though I saw the things he was doing. Narcissists have a way of really making you question your own eyes, your own senses. And I did. I started questioning myself and went to a therapist because I thought something's wrong with me. It couldn't be him. Maybe I am going crazy and I'm not reading things correctly. Anyways, so that was a terrible situation that ultimately led to me trying to take my life. Okay, I was in the hospital for a week, and I came out of that, started writing about my experience, and then the time, I had to put my life back together. So I had nothing. I didn't have any money at all. And so I had to figure something out and quick. I didn't have a car, nothing. Everything was taken from me. He had me quit my job a week before he walked out. The details of all of this is in my book. And anyways, so I didn't have anything. And so I started my daycare. I found out what I had to do. I did it. I took an Uber or a Lyft, I can't remember which one, downtown so I could get my license to get started. It didn't take long for my daycare to fill up. It didn't take long at all. I wasn't charging enough, but it didn't take long at all. And I think for the first year, I literally worked every single day of the week, 24/7. I was round the clock. I was open 24 hours. I slept when the kids did, if they were there at night. The first year was like that. Then I changed after a year. I thought I can't keep doing this, so I changed my hours. Anyway, I'm saying all that to say that for the last 5.5 years, I have built my daycare. I've each time I have made a big decision about it, it's been for the better, to better it, or to better myself, with it, and doing things to make my daycare better, to make me a better provider, etc. And I'm going through a situation right now that it just, I'm feeling a little frustrated because I'm kind of the the feeling of, even when you do everything right, things can still happen that are, semi sort of out of your control. And, or sometimes completely out of your control, that can, just have you going, why? When you're doing everything right, you're being very careful. And my life is my daycare. It's just me, my Sandy girl, my daycare. That's my core. I have family, but, it's really just me, honestly. I depend on me. And it's been that way for the last 5.5 years. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. Because the minute you depend on somebody else, they got you. I don't want to be dependent on anyone else again to give anyone else any control at all over my life whatsoever. In the situation I'm in now, I unknowingly did just that. When I rented the house that I'm in, the situation, for me to rent the house was misrepresented before I moved in. I never would have moved from my last house had I known what would happen here. I've been here for 2 years, 2.5 years, and it's come to my attention that he's going to sell the house. I found this out in January, the day I got COVID, and let him know that I had COVID, was sick, was the day he decided to tell me I had 90 days to find a house. And I couldn't really do anything about that for the first almost whole, January, because it took a month to get back to myself. First 2 weeks I was really down, and I didn't really start feeling like all my strength back until the end of January. Even though I had opened my daycare back up, and I've received nasty messages from him, and when I tell him not to threaten me, he claims that he doesn't threaten me, but if you were to read the messages, that's all there is. That's all you see, threat after threat after threat. And then I made a post on Facebook that he assumed was about him, and I got 2 threats about that. Like, it better not be about him. or else pretty much. And I'm thinking, or else what? What's he going to do if it was? It wasn't, but anyway. So now I'm in a situation where I have to find another house for me and Sandy Girl in the daycare, and it's really hard to do because there aren't a lot of owners that will let you run a daycare in their home, or have a dog that I have. And so that's been difficult. I am going to look at a house tomorrow that wouldn't mind the daycare. Um, you just have to show that I can afford the house. And I'm just not sure how that's going to go yet. But one step at a time. So I did hire a lawyer. And I'm having a phone conference call with him tomorrow. Well, by the time you guys hear this, it will already have been done, and I'll update you on it later. Because I don't want to go into all the details here. It would make it too long, but I've done everything right. Um, this guy just wants to get out from under the financial responsibility of the house, and he just wants me out, plain and simple. And he doesn't care how it happens. You know what I mean? He even went so far as to say that if he misses out on making a profit, he thinks he's going to make a big profit on selling this house. That if he misses out because of me, then basically I'm gonna pay for that. And I'm actually a little bit physically afraid of this guy. You know. Um, but I'm looking for another place. Obviously, I don't want to stay here after that, and um, it's just difficult. Um, I'm not a rich person by any means. I pretty much live paycheck to paycheck right now. So it's really going to be hard, trying to save. Um, Sometimes I can get a grant from the city, but there aren't any available right now. So, I've just been praying, for something to come up. So you guys keep me in your thoughts and prayers because, like I said, I am actually a little bit afraid of him. Uh, just because his behavior doesn't make any sense. The things he says doesn't make any sense. And he can be so sporadically hateful and mean. My last thing I said to him was, maybe it's better that we don't communicate directly anymore and just let our lawyers do the talking. I've asked him to quit threatening me. So that's where I am now. And the thing that bothers me, like I said, is the fact that I haven't done anything. I've done everything right because my daycare is my life, and I would never do anything to jeopardize that. And so my decision affects the daycare families. What I do next, where I go next, affects them. I have a little girl that gets on the bus at my house. So if I move out of this town, her parents have to find another way to get her to school, and she may end up quitting her job, and then I may end up losing those kids, and that would just tear my heart out. Because the boy is speech delayed. See, I get choked up, and I'm trying to work with him. I've had all those kids since they were born. So, everything I do, it has a ripple effect. This has a ripple effect. It's going, his decision to sell is going to affect so many lives. Unless I can afford to get a house and stay in town. Um, and I'll be very honest with you guys, I don't have the resources for that. I've been trying to build up my credit, and Um, I did the very thing that I thought would help my credit actually hurt my credit. So I got some credit cards, and it just it it made it worse. My total debt. I don't mind telling you guys, my total debt of everything that I owe in life is about $6,000. That's it. If I can get that paid off, that all that stuff will come off my credit, um, and I can get my score up, and then get a first time buyer FHA loan and buy a house and not have to rent from anybody anymore. You know what I mean? I'm the only person in my family that doesn't own their home. I was never taught how to do things like that. I had to learn as I went along in life. Um, my my mom was left her home because of my stepdad passing away. One of my sisters went to the military. She just married well. My other little sister finally is with the right person, and he owns his home. So I feel like a misfit, and I'm a little embarrassed, even though I am. I'm embarrassed about my station in life, not about what I do for a living because I'm very proud of it. But I am the only member of my family that has to work. I'm very proud of what I do. It's just that I chose wrong. I married wrong, and that really hurt me. I've chose the wrong guys. I've made bad decisions, not financial decisions, bad people decisions to trust, um, and it's really hurt me. And so now I don't trust people, and I'm totally just relying on myself and God. Um, so I'm of the. I feel like I can feel myself pulling away from my sister that I usually talk to all the time. I feel myself pulling away from her, wanting to pull away from friends because I guess because one, I am embarrassed to find myself in this situation, even though I know that it's through no fault of my own, none. Um, but again, I I'm 52, almost 53 in May, and I have to start over. I have to find a home, and I'm tired of moving. Oh my God, I'm tired of moving. I just want a place, to call mine, to run my daycare, to settle in, to retire in, and not worry. Not have to rely on someone else deciding that I can keep living there. You know what I mean? When you rent from someone else, your life is in their hands because they could decide to sell. They could decide they just don't want you there anymore. You know what I mean? It's not really your house. And you live with that every day, knowing it's not really your house, no matter what you tell yourself. Um, I'm just so tired of that. I don't want that anymore. But it's going to take me, 6 months, maybe even a year to get my credit well enough, I think, to get approved for a loan so I can buy my own home. That's all I want in life. I don't want to be rich, never have. All I want is a home where my name is on the deed and I can have my daycare and my Sandy girl and just live in peace. You know what I mean? That's all I want in life, but it feels unattainable. Like it's so far out of reach, you know? And I don't ask anybody for anything. I'm not asking for anybody for anything now. You know, that's not who I am. I just want life to give me a break because, and this is what I tell people all the time, enjoy the peaceful times in your life because it's during those times that you build up strength to deal with, the hard times when they come, because they do come like in waves. And you need that strength from when times are peaceful and calm to ride those waves. And I'm trying myself to keep a good attitude about this and to stay happy and to have that inner joy. And it's my mindset doesn't feel like it's in a good place right now because I'm feeling a little defeated. Um, I'm worried. What am I going to do if I can't find a place? Will I have to close my daycare? That would mean the 5.5 years that I have just gone through building it will be for nothing. All that hard work for nothing. And that would kill me. You know, and having to say goodbye to all those families, it would kill me. But I don't know if I'm going to have a choice. It would be so easy. Some would say, just close the daycare, get a regular job. Give up your dog if you can't find a house that will allow her. That's not who I am. It's not who I am, and that's not fair to me. It's not fair to Sandy. It's not fair to the daycare families. I refuse to give in that much. You know what I mean? I can't. I have to keep moving forward. I have to keep fighting. So I could really use y'all's, good thoughts. And I know that no one is really listening to this channel. I actually think I lost a subscriber. I'm sorry for whoever left. I don't know why you left. Maybe my channel is just too boring for you. I'm nobody. This channel will never be huge. I have a handful of people that listen. Maybe some listen out of pure curiosity. Maybe some watch my channel, out of just kindness. Maybe some are actually genuinely interested. I know I have one who's at least genuinely interested. And but I appreciate all of you, all 20 of you now. I appreciate you. Not about having a big channel. I just, I do this channel to help those that I can, and for me to have an outlet. That's all. That's all. I don't ever try to make anything of it. But I am going to close this out now. And thank you for listening to me blubber, and thank you for listening to me vent. And that's what it is, I'm venting, and I'm praying that something open up for me, because there's just no way that 5.5 years of all the hard work I've put in, there's just no way that all of that can just be taken from me just because my landlord decides he's going to sell the house, and he doesn't care how, he just wants me out. And I asked him for 6 months. No. Nope. Anyways, he just wants out from under it as quickly as possible. I will never. I hate that someone else has that kind of control over my life. My wish, I mean, honestly, my only real wish in life, no wish for a husband. Nope. I don't wish for fame. I don't wish for money. Nope. All I've ever wanted was enough money to pay my bills. That's it. To keep a roof over my head. I can't even seem to do that, even when I'm making enough money to do that. But all I've ever wanted is a home to call mine. A home that no one can kick me out of, ever. That's all. That's peace to me. That's knowing I can go to sleep and lay my head down in the same place every night for the rest of my life. That's all I want. And it feels like it's too much to ask for. I'll keep you guys posted, and I'll update you on this. And in the meantime, I do hope life is treating you well and that you have your heart's desire, and I appreciate your prayers and your well wishes and all of that, and God bless. And hopefully I can give you guys some good news real soon.